finally, there we are. Spawning in the top left corner. The next player being sent out by Team Property. It is Mekar. His opponent in the top right corner of the map as the blue Terran. It is going to be Kras for Team NewRoSoft. Now this is of course the finals of the RSTL season number 5. If you get 5 points in this finals, you are going to get that prize money from that first place. I do believe it was something like $360. Not 100% sure about that, but still that's a very nice prize for playing Starcraft. But let's see what these players are going to go for. This is not the best Reaper map for sure, because there's only a little area where you can really jump up to. Not of course this area, you cannot jump up with the Reaper there. But just this area and this one, of course, on the other side of the map. There's no point for Kras to jump up and down those ledges on his own side of the map, because, well, he can create a wall off or something like that. But for the rest, he can just take that ramp. So he's opening up with a barracks, immediately placing down that first supply depot at the location to block off, or at least to spot an oracle coming in immediately. And on the other side of the map, Mekar is just getting one gateway, one assimilator. He sent out the scout right now, and there is in fact not going to be a Reaper. It's going to be a gasless opening from Kras, so a gasless expand. Still pretty standard, especially on a map like this. But Mekar is going to be able to scout this out. He's going to arrive just as that barracks finish, and he just wants to know, has there a refinery been taken? And the answer is no. So there's not going to be an expansion, there's not going to be a Reaper inside Mekar's base, which means that he can chill down a little bit, maybe prioritize that Nexus just a little bit more, maybe even get that mothership core a little bit later to produce a few more units. But let's see, the Marine is now out, so no more scouting intel for Mekar. But at least the probe is faster than a Marine. So the probe can return back home and mine another day. Now also, there is going to be an SCV here. Is he going to go for an engineering bay block? That would really be beautiful to see. Or is he just going to go straight into that main base? Now he's not going to go for the block. There's going to be an expansion for Mekar right there, right now. And everything has also been spotted by Kras, so not really anything to worry about. Wall-off has come down once again for Mekar, just like Starnan did. But he's not going to need it in this game. And this is a very creative wall-off, actually. This is going to be a place that is really impossible for a Reaper to spot. But let's see. Did he cancel that Zealot, by the way? It's not on the map, so yeah, he must have done so. Now the Stalker is going to be on the way. The expansion is also going to come through from Kras. And what is the follow-up going to be? Of course, you do need that bunker, because there is a chance that Mekar wants to move out, knowing that he does not have to worry about a Reaper in his main base. Now factory, off of that one barracks. This time he's going to get that Stimpack a little bit later than in the last game against Starnan. But still, he's going to tech up quite fast after this. He's getting those Marines from that reactor barracks, so he's going to have enough units out to defend in the early stage of this game. Now there is going to be a forge on the way. A robotics facility has also been started. So still a very standard opening, pretty much the same that Starnet went for in the last game. So let's see how it works out for him. How greedy does he want to take that third base? Does he even want to take a third base at all? So let's see. Widow mines are in production. It's going to be very annoying for Mekar to deal with. I really like his choice for a robotics facility right now, because you really do need those observers to really deal with those widow mines efficiently. Also starport on the way, so you might even want to go for a widow mine drop a little bit later than you would see from a one base play. But still, those can be very dangerous. Don't know if anyone watched that. I do believe that it was the IEM qualifiers for Toronto in the game between Select against Huck. I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct on that, but 2 widow mines getting 20 worker kills in the base of Huck. That is just insane. I do remember the number, and my heart was breaking a little bit. That is such a volatile unit, that's for sure. But some harassment opportunities for Terran are also very important into this game, so I'm not here to argue balance. But let's see. One engineering bay for Kras so far is getting that. Oh, he's not getting any upgrades. Did he already get the +1? No, he just wants to, for safety, in case he needs to go for that missile turret. That's not the case. The observer has spotted that there is going to be a drop for Kras on the other side. But there are pylons here. There is a stalker here, and there's another observer popping out. So don't think that this is going to do a whole lot of damage unless these marines are making it inside the mineral line at that natural base. That mothership core is in a perfect position to get shot down. Now the drop inside the main base has been diverted. Oh, will he get the photon overcharge? Yes, he does get the photon overcharge, but those marines take out that mothership core already. Now, not too many workers were killed off. Only one has been taken out. But killing off that mothership core, which almost had enough energy for another photon overcharge, that can be very tricky. And of course, Mekar needs to keep a few units here. Oh, did he actually? Yeah, he did go for the drop, but the Widow Mine did not do anything. Now, there's an empty medevac that's not going to be too harmful whatsoever. But still, no photon overcharge anymore, and there's always a chance of another medevac flying in with another Widow Mine. Now the first Colossus is in production. Wow, that medevac really had a death wish. There's going to be a follow-up drop, it looks like. Yeah, there's going to be a drop. Lift up into that medevac into the natural base. No blink on those stalkers, so he has to be focusing that down manually, so the Marines get a few extra shots off, but he does manage to get rid of it. And actually the vision from Mekar is pretty good. His vision at that high yield base, he sees whenever something is flying in. Also at the front, he does not see too much, but he has the units there too, so if he needed to move the army there, it would be in position already. And also, especially with that Colossus finishing up, he's doing an okay job right there. But only one forge for Mekar, that's a pretty big difference from the last game. Second forge is now gonna be on the way along with the Twilight Council, so he can go for his +2/+1 after it is done. But let's see, the army of Kras is just building up back at home. He has 2 extra barracks coming down, an extra engineering bay on the way, so he can go for the double upgrades too. And of course the armory, so he can move past the +1 attack upgrades and the +1 armor upgrades. Now Stimpack is going to be pretty late in this setup. We're reaching the 12-minute mark when it will be done, but the third command center, at least, it has already been taken. Now for a Terran, it is of course ideal to take this third base, and he is going to go for it. But if Colossi are raining down their damage with their laser beams from the low ground, you're going to have a very bad time, because those mineral patches are pretty clumped up, and only a few shots will get rid of your mineral line pretty fast. So you do really have to take care that they don't take too much damage up there. Oh, we do have a little bit of a lag spike. It's not me. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, everything is in the green with me, so... Okay, let's have a look. There's gonna be a lot of Vikings on the map already, just in case a War Prism tries to fly into that base. He knows that the robotics facility is, of course, on the map. So the chance of a War Prism always a possibility. Now scan at the front. Kras really wants to know what exactly is going down. The third base was not spotted with this, but with the army on the low ground, he should know that a third base is being warped in at this point. Zealot going towards Excel Naga Watchtower, not really going to do anything. 1-1 upgrades currently for Mekar, the +1 attack upgrade, and Stim for Kras. But I believe that Mekar is in a great position in this game. Yes, his third base is a little bit later, but that is very normal in a TVP actually. If you are in a TVP where the Protoss can take a faster third base than your Terran opponent, then he is pretty far ahead in the game for sure. But let's see, how many Vikings does he already have on the map? There are 9 Vikings against 3 Colossus, and he's getting there very fast. He's even adding on a second starport right now, just setting up for the later stage of this game. And of course, with this forward base taken first, he can pretty easily take a 4th base too. So let's see. The observer spread is just insane. The vision from Mekar, he spots everything wherever an attack is coming from. That is pretty amazing from him. And also a probe has been sent out. He can go for those proxy pylons on the map to get some harassment going. The Colossus count's still growing, but let's see how long he wants to wait until there is gonna be a Templar Archives to get those storms out. Because if you wait too long with those and the Viking count gets too high, those Colossi are not really gonna do anything. And those Stalkers, well, they can shoot down the Vikings, but if there are too many, it's still putting a bandage on a bullet hole. So a little bit of a supply block for Kraz. It's gonna be his last one for quite some time, with 3 supply depots finishing up right there. And it looks like he wants to move out. He's very near maxed out. But the army still looking pretty strong. Oh, the observer's just being missed right there. The observer still spotting everything what is going on. And Kraz is looking to pick a fight again with the ghosts already in production. 3 ghosts right now being built at the same time. Getting his mech upgrades +2 on the way. So those Vikings are pretty well upgraded too. But the spread for Mecha is here pretty great. So no real way for Kraz to really move down that area. So instead he is expanding his production facilities, getting that 4th base going. Here we are, Kraz wanting to move in once again. Beautiful EMPs dropping down already. The Vikings are targeting down the Colossus. First one falls, second one falls too. So many Zealots here, however. No charge on those just yet, and you really need that if you want to go for the engagement. So he has to pull them back right there. But Zealots have been warped in for some counter-aggression, pulling back the army of Kraz in this scenario. But that 3rd base has been mining for quite some time. The army of Kraz is looking pretty impressive, and taking out those 2 Colossi, that is already a very nice pick-off. A lot of lost mining time at that natural base, killing off a few of those workers. 6 workers being killed off. Very nice already, but when the rest of the army returns home, they're not going to do all that much anymore. Also, the Pylon will find his demise right there. No more harassment from that position, but there is, of course, one sneaky Pylon towards the 5th base of Kraz, of course. But still, the vision from Mecha has just been insane. Those observers in all the right locations. There's just no hiding from. There's just no hiding from that guy. Mecha has pretty much full information of what he needs to know. The Marine will spot that this Pylon is up and running. But this can really go into the late stages of this game, because it's going to be very hard for these 2 players to engage into each other. There are already 13 ghosts on the map. Storm is going to be on the way. High Templars have been morphed in, turned into Archons for now. But the positioning on a map like this can get very tricky. And with this heavy Zealot count, going up against ghosts can get very tricky too. Now the probe is spotting this army. It will get taken out. But the Vikings on these chokes can get a beautiful shots off at the Colossi. He only has 4 here. He did not go any higher than that. But Kraz is now moving down that ramp. EMPs dropping on a lot of those Zealots. One Colossus does get taken out right there. Stalkers blinking away to focus down those Vikings. The Zealots charging into the bio of Kraz, but the last Colossus will fall. No, it will be kept alive. The Stalkers doing their jobs. And more Zealots coming in from the back from another pylon that has been created. And wow, that was actually a pretty good fight for Mecha right there. He kept one of the Colossi alive, albeit barely. But another medevac getting taken out. Oh, will he get another one? Wow, lucky medevac right there with only a little bit of health. But now he's at the front door. There is a planetary fortress here, however, so don't really know if he wants to press into that. But Kraz's army has to be completely rebuilt. There's not too much here for him. So the planetary fortress does get taken out. And let's see if he takes significant damage before he has to return back home. More high temperatures being warped in. Storm is done. 3-3 halfway of the way done. But 3-3 already done for Mecha. So one barracks producing in the middle of nowhere here does get taken out too. Oh, one ghost will spawn but immediately get killed off. 4 Vikings on the map. And now it is going to be pretty impossible for Kraz to get to the high yield base from his natural base. He can just send a few of those zealots to that location. He can just take out everything here. Oh, nice pick off into those medevacs to save those workers. But still, Kraz has been sent back to pretty much one base mining. His main base is hardly mining. His natural base is hardly mining. So together, maybe one base mining. While we do see a 4th base on the production tab for Mechar 2. Command center has floated away into no one's land. And the Zealots will slowly start chipping away at these missile turrets, at those refineries. And a small contain on Kraz. Look at the amount of Archons, but those Archons are not really going to be the best answer right now. Because there are still quite a few ghosts in this army. 7 ghosts to EMP this entire army. And they do have quite a bit of energy too. They're pretty much all full energy right there. That nice buff from a few weeks ago. Really helping out right there. So there's going to be plenty of energy to impede this entire army. And without shields, the Protoss army is becoming manageable for a Terran player. So let's see if Kraz can move down this ramp. But this is going to be a death trap right there. And Kraz needs to get more mining going. He's very low on funds. He is near maxed out though. Producing double medevacs, no more Vikings on the production tab. And Mechar is returning back home. He does not want to risk it. And there's another drop inside his high yield base. Nice storm dropping. Wow. That medevac surviving with 2 hit points right there. Nice harassment from both these players. But this command center still cannot land with the Zealots in position. And they still will get a little bit of damage done. But now he can retake his 4th base. And he can retake his 3rd base. There's a blink on top of that high ground. Pretty risky to do so, but Mechar has the lead that he needs to make that work. And now 3-3 is also done for Kraz. The upgrades are on equal footing right now. And will he be able to capitalize on that? 3 Colossi have been rebuilt. Or actually one of them is one of the old Colossi. Storms, will he land a good storm? Oh, a little bit of a zoning storm right there. SCVs are being taken into the army for a little bit more tanking power. Storms coming down everywhere, but so do the EMPs. Mothership Core getting very low. The Vikings getting a pretty good position right there. One of them does get taken out. The Mothership Core does get taken out too. And now it is going to be Mechar who is hiding with his tail between his legs. He has to get home very fast. Running into storms is going to be the best thing for Mechar. If he can make Kraz at least run into those storms. He needs more storms. Those high tempers don't have any energy. That storm is attempted to be thrown down, but he's down to a lot of Zealots, not a lot of high tier units, and that Colossus is not going to have a lot of damage output. Those Vikings can even land at this point, and will the Zealots be enough? He's even pulling the probes right now. With the stutter step. Come on, are you going to stutter step against this? All the DPS from that Bioforce with the healing from those medevacs seems to be enough for now. And Kraz has taken a 50 supply lead. Yes, there is still plenty of mining from Mechar, but that is not going to be for long. He's moving into that 4th base location. He's going to take out that Nexus so insanely fast. Double Colossus production has come through, so there are now 3 Colossi on the field. Well, there was even triple Colossus production right there. The 3rd base still up, hardly mining though. He pulled those probes to make something happen. The SCVs are going to move towards that 3rd base, it looks like. And this is going to be a lot of forces to deal with for Mechar. And let's see if he's going to be able to. Mechar did have a little bit of funds left in the bank. But the SCVs are already returning back home. He's kept a few of them to sacrifice them for the greater good. And, well, Mechar really wants to get another base going. He needs a 4th base at this point. But he still has to be very careful of this army of Kraz, because this army is still going to wreck Mechars. And those ghosts have been paying dividends. 16 ghosts on the field right now. That is just insane. He really does not like his Protoss with shields. He really likes to take them off before he goes into battle, and I cannot blame him for this. The 4th base, however, is going to be an orbital command, so there is a potential for harassment from those Zealots. But even that, Kraz has already spotted something. It's like he has my vision right there. But let's see. He's just long distance mining even from this 4th base location. Not trying to retake that high yield base, because that's a very volatile base to take. And especially if this base and the high yield base are taken, you're spreading yourself pretty thin. But the Colossus count once again at 4. Few Archons in this army once again. EMPs just landing everywhere. So impressive from Kraz, and of course he gets the extra vision right there from the Xel'Naga White Tower. But EMP's landing on everything. The Colossi are all without shields at this point. A beautiful storm does land to zone away the army of Kraz. But the Viking count has grown significantly once again, and he is taking out Colossus after Colossus. And Mechar has dropped below 100 supply, and Kraz is here for the taken. He is going to extend the lead for Team NewRoSoft, it looks like, and there is going to be the end of the game, and Kraz does take it. So Kraz currently in a 3-1 lead over Team prOperty.